Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Vlog Podcast. Today is Wednesday, October 10th, 2018. Today I'm going to recap last night's Game 4 between the Red Sox and the Yankees, and the Red Sox advancing to the ALCS. Go over last night's college football game a little bit. Go over yesterday's NHL games, look ahead to tonight's games. Talk about a game that got flexed from an early slot to prime time. Do my coach rankings for the NBA, and I'll discuss the fate of the Tigers broadcasters that got into a big fight this year. All right, the Red Sox are off to the LCS, 4-3 winners over the Yankees. Give the Red Sox credit. They were the better team in the series, especially the last two games. Rick Porcello gets the win, CC Sabathia with the loss, Craig Kimbrell with the save. Top of the third was when the Red Sox got going. Sacrifice fly, JD Martinez, 1-0 Sox. RBI double Ian Kinsler off the glove of Brett Gardner, who probably should have made the catch. 2-0 Sox. RBI single Eduardo Nunez, 3-0 Sox. Top of the fourth, home run for Christian Vasquez, Yankee Stadium special, 4-0 Sox. Bottom of the fifth, sacrifice fly, Brett Gardner made it 4-1. Bottom of the ninth, here come the Yankees. Bases loaded, hit by pitch, Neil Walker, 4-2. Sacrifice flies, Gary Sanchez. The run scores 4-3. The Yankees had second and third, 2 out for Gleyber Torres. Gleyber Torres grounds out to third on a tough play. And Gleyber Torres nearly beat it out and had to come down to a replay review to determine whether Steve Pearce was off the bag or not. Determines that he was on the bag. Red Sox advance. Yankees, it really just wasn't their year, plain and simple. They had a lot of injuries in the regular season. But to say that the season was a success is not right. I mean, you went out and got the National League MVP in the offseason, and you fired your manager for reasons that some people can realize, like the players didn't get along with him, in particular Gary Sanchez, and that whole Sanchez thing last year I think led to his firing, along with the mishap in Game 2 of the Indian Series last year that single-handedly cost him the game. I do think Aaron Boone will be back next year. I'd be absolutely dumbfounded if Brian Cashman decided to fire him and make him look like James Dolan, so I wouldn't fire him if I were Cashman. Maybe give him another year or two, and if they don't win the World Series, then you gotta can him. And I think Boone did okay this year. His bullpen management was just terrible, though, throughout the season, especially in these last two games of the series, which is why they lost the series, other than the fact that they couldn't hit these last two games against the Red Sox starters. Red Sox off to the ALCS to face Houston. These two teams met up in the LDS a year ago. Red Sox bullpen got some big outs for them, especially in Game 4, the closeout. It certainly helped that he went to Chris Sale in the bottom of the 8th to steal some outs. But let's face it, their worst pitcher yesterday was Craig Kimbrell. He almost single-handedly blew that game. And we're talking about a glorious Yankee comeback and how there'll be a Game 5 tomorrow night in Boston. But no, Craig Kimbrell gets the outs, although it wasn't easy. I give the Yankees a little credit for making that interesting in the bottom of the 9th. And hey, Kimbrell ended up getting the save anyway. And he's got to pitch better if the Red Sox are to advance to the World Series. Their setup men did better than Kimbrell, and that was a very big surprise to me. And Kimbrell had a bad series, so I'm a little worried about him. Astros, meanwhile, look like the team to beat. They won last year. They're a better team this year than they were last year. They upgraded a closer. Alex Presley's been a monster in that bullpen. Josh James has been great. The rotation has been phenomenal. Their offense has been phenomenal. George Springer has been the best player in the playoffs so far. So, yeah, that team is just poised to repeat. College football from yesterday. Appalachian State defeated Arkansas State 35-9. So Appalachian State, certainly the best team in the Sun Belt, along with Troy. I thought Arkansas State was up there. Not so much. So it's just those two teams at the top of the conference. Arkansas State drops to 3-3. App State is 4-1. And I actually had Appalachian State winning the game, but the play was plus 9.5 for Arkansas State and the Red Wolves. NHL yesterday, 6 games on the slate. The Sharks absolutely destroyed the Flyers 8-2 on national television. What a win for San Jose. Evander Kane, number 3 star of the game with 2 goals. The number 2 star of the game was Kevin LeBlanc with 4 assists, and the number 1 star of the game was Joe Pavelski. Sharks 2-2-0, Flyers 1-2-0. The Hurricanes defeated the Canucks 5-3. Hurricanes 3-1, Vancouver 1-2-0. The number 3 star of the game was Warren Fogley. Number 2 star of the game was Jacob Slavin with 2 assists. Fogley had 1 goal. Number 1 star of the game was Sebastian Aho with a goal and an assist. The Blue Jackets defeated the Avs 5-2. Columbus 2-1-0. Colorado 2-1-0. Number 3 star of the game with 2 assists is Alexander Wenberg. Number 2 star of the game with an assist, Marcus Nutavara. And the number 1 star of the game with 2 goals and assists was Nick Foligno. The Flames defeated the Preds 3-0, so that's a bit of an upset. The Flames are 2-1-0, and so is Nashville. Sean Monahan, the number 3 star with 2 goals. Number 2 star, Johnny Gaudreau with 3 assists. And the number 1 star of the game was Mike Smith with 43 saves. So give Mike Smith credit. He turned back the clock and shut down the Predators. By the way, the Predators did something stupid by hanging a banner for winning the President's Trophy. You don't hang a banner for the President's Trophy. You hang a banner if you win a Stanley Cup. Like, come on. The Jets defeated the Kings 2-1. The Jets are 2-1-0. LA 1-1-1. The number 3 star of the game with an assist, Brandon Tanev. The number 2 star of the game with a goal, Mark Sheffley. And the number 1 star of the game was Jack Campbell with 37 saves, but Winnipeg finds a way to win the game. The Maple Leafs defeat the Stars 7-4. This offense is just on a roll right now. They're 3-1-0. Dallas 2-1-0. Number 3 star of the game is John Tavares with 2 goals. Number 2 star of the game was Tyler Seguin with a goal and 3 assists. And the number 1 star of the game was Mitch Marner with a goal and 3 assists. Tonight's slate is 3 games. Flyers Senators. Flyers 1-2-0. Senators 1-1-1. The Golden Knights and the Capitals. Golden Knights 1-2-0. The Capitals 1-0-1. National TV game. Stanley Cup Final rematch. This is going to be a great game. This is a hard call. But I like the Vegas Golden Knights here to get the win on the road here. And the Coyotes and the Ducks at 10 o'clock is the last game on the slate. Coyotes 0-2-0, and the Ducks 3-0-0. Before I get into the NBA coach rankings and the Tiger broadcasters' fate, Bengals Chiefs was flexed into the Sunday night slot on October 21st, so that's week 7. And this game that had the original spot was 49ers-Rams, which deserved to be bumped off. Obviously, due to the injury to Jimmy Garoppolo, they bumped it off. This is the earliest I remember a Sunday night game being flexed in a long time. Maybe since, I believe the Giants might have gotten flexed out on a Sunday night. That year they started 0-6. It's funny because I remember they won their first game on a Monday night against the Vikings, and Josh Freeman had that terrible game. But for some reason, I remember the Giants getting flexed out because they were just awful. Although they did end up at 4-6, and then they lost at home to the Cowboys on a field goal, dropped themselves to 4-7. So maybe it wasn't that Giants team, but I forget who it was. The earliest I've ever seen flexed it out of a game. So this was obvious because Garoppolo hurt. So it's the right thing to do. And that game is going to do very well because it's 2 of the 10 best teams in the league. And certainly 2 of the possibly 4 best teams in the AFC. NBA coach rankings going to go from 30 to 1. Number 30 is Lloyd Pierce of the Hawks. 29, Igor Kokoskov of the Suns. 28, James Borjo of the Hornets. 27, Nick Nurse of the Raptors. Those are your first-year coaches, although Borgo's been an intern before. 26, Fred Hoiberg, Bulls. 25, J.B. Bickerstaff, Grizzlies. 24, Tyronn Lue, Cavaliers. 22, Dave Yeager, Kings. 22, Nate McMillan, Pacers. 21, Alvin Gentry, Pelicans. 20, Tom Thibodeau, Timberwolves. 19, Billy Donovan, Thunder. 18, Scotty Brooks, Wizards. 17, Kenny Atkinson, Nets. 16, Michael Malone, Nuggets. 15, Brett Brown, 76ers. 14, Luke Walton, Lakers. 13, Steve Clifford, Magic. 12, Dwayne Casey, Pistons. 11, Dave Fizdale, Knicks. 10, Terry Stotts, Blazers. 9, Eric Spoelstra, Heat. 8, Mike D'Antoni, Rockets. Number 7, Mike Budenholzer, Bucks. 6, Quinn Snyder, Jazz. 5, Rick Carlisle, Mavericks. 4, Doc Rivers, Clippers. 3, Steve Kerr, Warriors. 2, Greg Popovich, San Antonio Spurs. And number 1, well-deserved, Brad Stevens, Boston Celtics. No doubt about it, who's the best coach in the NBA right at this minute. From a historic standpoint, it's obviously Popovich, but I'm sorry, he's been dethroned right now by a bright young mind by the name of Brad Stevens, who's just done an unbelievable job since the minute he walked into Boston. He got them to overachieve those first couple years, and then Danny Ainge went out and improved this team. It certainly helps that they had those Brooklyn Nets picks, to pick Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. And that certainly helped turn them into a contender. Signing Gordon Hayward, trading for Kyrie Irving, signing Al Horford, among the great moves that this front office has made over the past few seasons. Tigers broadcasters Mario Impemba and Ron Allen won't return to the Tigers after a huge altercation on September 4th, and there was physicality involved. And it wasn't surprising. Neither of the guys appeared on the air for the remainder of the season after the incident. And Matt Shepard and Kirk Gibson called the games the majority of their absence. I wonder if those two will get the job full time. And that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll be back recapping everything. Hockey and anything else really that goes on in the world of sports. I'll be making picks for Eagles, Giants, and the college football games being played tomorrow. And I'm going to do my picks for the ALCS and the NLCS. And I'll also be doing my bowl projections for Week 7. I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.